Hello YouTube. So today I'm going to try and explain when I think Dogecoin will pump. Um, I know the market has been looking pretty bad recently, and for those of you who are still holding Dogecoin, hopefully with today's evidence it might give you some idea of what to do and how to evaluate Doge. So before I can evaluate Dogecoin in determining when it's going to pump, I first have to explain what I think the market is going to do, because at this moment in time, Dogecoin uh, is one is in the top 20 coins, right? So the odds of it moving anything special is going to be a lot more difficult than it was before. So before Dogecoin, um, it can easily make a 100x, right? 100x or 200x almost at this point. But being in the top 20, making a 100x move is very unlikely, right? So in order for example, if Dogecoin were to move 100x, it would literally put it into 20 times 100. It would literally put it into $2 trillion territory, which is impossible, right? So we need to have a more reasonable outlook on what Dogecoin can do. So first, I'm gonna try my best to explain what I think the general market is going to do. So yesterday I made a complete video of what I think the general market or whatever Bitcoin is going to do. And to summarize, what I think Bitcoin is going to do is just to bounce here and move down sideways, much like it did back in July and August. It doesn't have to do that, but if I had to put the most likely outcome, I do believe that this is the most likely outcome to occur. Who knows, it could theoretically go up like this, or zigzag like this, or even just break down immediately. But I think the odds are that, given Bitcoin's current price right now and how oversold we are, I do think that we're very likely to have some sort of a bounce. And whether or not we continue sideways or go up, still unknown. But I do firmly believe that we're probably most likely going to touch this. Under that scenario, I do expect Dogecoin to do something similar. I don't see Dogecoin, moving within the next month, especially if Bitcoin's going sideways. The odds of Dogecoin popping is unlikely, in my opinion. If we go ahead and take a look at Litecoin, the reason why I'm bringing up Litecoin is that Litecoin, in yesterday's video, I explained why Litecoin is a very good metric of measuring Bitcoin's tops, like pullbacks. So, but to explain in this video, Litecoin is also a good predictor of what Bitcoin is also going to do. So, in my opinion, I do think Litecoin is probably also going to do the exact same scenario where it's going to touch its own blue median line and then pull back, probably most likely to the same low here, and then pump up. Because if you fall and you hug this right here, I mean, it is very extreme, but the other scenario is that we could end up hugging this blue median line all the way down. So there's a chance that Litecoin hugs it all the way down after February. So the same can be said for Dogecoin, in my opinion, where we can just end up hugging this all the way down. I think the odds of that happening, like I mentioned in the previous video, is 70-30. So the likelihood of 30-70, where the likelihood of it going down, hugging this, is 30%, and I do think that the more likely outcome is that it's going to bounce. And under that scenario, I do think that since Dogecoin was one of the first movers back in 2021, so it first popped in January, and Litecoin hasn't even started moving until around the same time. So my assumption is that around February, once we place in this low, if the market turns bull, then that would be likely where Dogecoin will pop from. So my assumption would be that this is probably the low, or we're near the absolute low for Dogecoin, and that if we have a bull market, then it's very likely to start pumping up from here. I don't know if it's going to pump up the same way it did back in 2020, 2021, where it just has a straight up move, or if it's going to put in zigzag move just like the rest of the top 10s. I that one I'm not sure about, but I do think that February is the crucial point, because that's where the market will try to determine whether or not it wants to continue downward or go upwards. And from that moment in time, either this is the bottom for Doge, or we're going to see it, die back down to sub 2021 levels. It's going to be absolutely painful. So February, early February is the date that I would say that Dogecoin pop from. If it does pop, the first stop that Dogecoin must get stopped at, and if I were to play Dogecoin at that time, my sell price would be at the 0.618. So if I were to do a multi-week or multi-month hold, then I would essentially buy here, and then I would personally sell it here. But this is what I would do if I was in that situation. Use your own judgment for your own investment. So that's what I think is going to happen for Dogecoin in the near future.